Joe, tell me a little bit about your show, which is between 6 to 9 a.m. Number one, what you talk about, and then, I want to take a quick break and come back and talk about your trip to Israel. So first, tell me about the show, and also tell me how you're doing with this thyroid cancer, how you beat it, and what the role of screening. We just talked about Angelina Jolie. We just about my patient with prostate cancer, and you're just down that alley with thyroid cancer.
Well, we got the radio thing happened by accident, David. It was so funny how we went in there, and I wanted to. I love radio. I love this intimacy. As we speak now, Dr. Samadi, we're talking directly to the person listening. It's such an intimate medium, and it's something you're great at. And whereas you go on TV and you have millions of eyes looking at you, but radio you could talk directly to the listener, and I love the intimacy of it. So I got the guys, Jerry Crowley and Phil Boyce, put me in touch with Frank Morano, our producer, and our news guy, Al Gattulo and Debbie Duhame on traffic. And then we created a nice feel-good morning show, 6 to 9 on AM 970 The Answer. And now I'm addicted to radio, man. I love it,
I can feel
except
it.
the hours. But the hours are crazy. I'm like getting up. There was a time back in the day when I used to like get in at the hour I'm getting up now, Dr. Samadi.
Well,
it's like,
you know what I like
man.
about you, Joe? I think like when you first of all the characters on the radio they're all amazing. You guys play off really well with each other against each other, and also what I like about you is that you are so passionate. You can connect to your audience. I'm in the car listening to you, and it's almost like you're talking to me like another friend of mine that we know each other for years, and that comes across. And I know there are a lot of people out there on the radio, but that personal touch and also getting all the information you need early in the morning, traffic, news, etc.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and you always got to we stay on the news because people tune in to the radio station for news, and that's what we try to give them. But then, if we get silly, I like to step away, talk about my personal situation and my crazy life, because you know what, we all go through it, Dr. Samadi. We all go through it, and then to jump even ahead to the thyroid cancer, I'm very, very organic and very honest on the radio. And when I talk about how I was diagnosed back in 1981. Just at random by my late brother-in-law, Dr. Harrelson, ear, nose, and throat, from a guy from Princeton, and he felt what they used to call a goiter. Remember, they used to use that term, the goiter.
That's right.
Yeah, so I found it, and then they went in and said we should check it out. They put a needle in. I mean, you know this inside out and backwards, Dr. Samadi.
Sure.
But took a needle in, they took a look, and they thought, and it was originally diagnosed as benign. And then, I reached out to our mutual friend, Dr. Rock Positano, and he was a medical student, said, let's get a second opinion. Long story short, and I've talked about this on the show many times, they cut into the tumor and found a medullary carcinoma there, on the left side of my Yeah, you know what? It changes your life. And then you know what, too, Doc? They said, take radiation. And I said, well, I think I'll just take my chances. And by the grace of God, I just stay healthy. I take vitamins. I'm very, very careful with what I do. But I never took the radiation. But they took half the thyroid. But now they tell me, Dr. Samadi, they should have taken the whole thyroid. And that's what they would probably have done today. But so far, so good.
Well,
and
that's
it's 30
wonderful.
years later.
That's a great news. And I think there's a message out there that getting checked, getting screened is the way to go. And if you have a problem, surgery a lot of times is the first line of treatment. And if, God forbid, something comes back, we can always use radiation and talk about that.